host, the Crypto Wonder from the Crypto Wonder podcast. Hope you're doing well. And as always, let's get right into it. So, there's so much going on in crypto, in the Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX space. Man, if you got a long-term anything, you want to just plan ahead and enjoy the ride, man, Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX are affording you a special type of magic carpet ride. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Not financial advice, no expectation of profit from the work of anyone, others, whatever you want to call it, all that SEC, legal jargon, nonsense, crap, whatever. Don't listen to me. I know nothing. Don't listen to me. I keep telling y'all, like you got people who say, I put too much trust in Richard Hart. yo, some people believe that because I talk about how folks, PulseChain was the sacrifice period for PulseChain basically was for freedom of speech, and people try to challenge that and tell me, oh, be real. It's about the mad gains, right? And how PulseX, sacrifices for freedom of movement, right to assemble, right? And oh no, it's about the money. It's about the mad gains. Be real. I mean, keep it real. And it's like they lose sight. They lose sight. They lose themselves, right? Because they're too narrow-minded. They're too focused on whatever is going on in their head within their scope and understanding, and do not want to look at your point of view. They don't want to put themselves in other people's shoes to just understand better, Put yourself in someone else's position just to perhaps see their side of the story a little bit clearer than what's fixated in your own mind. Whatever's in your own mind does not encompass what happens in the world, period. This sacrifice for freedom of assemble and movement for PulseX, the sacrifice for freedom of speech, you think is just about being clever to avert or right to play with jargon to avoid paying taxes or incurring capital gains? You think it's just all about that? Oh, don't trust Richard. Or telling me I trust Richard too much. I put too much trust in Richard. Wow. And when you're poor, when you presented these things, people can't give you a better option, right? Like, and first and foremost, you think about cryptocurrency, you're not supposed to trust anybody but the blockchain. It's person to person, for those who don't know. Study the blockchain, study what it's about. It's supposed to eliminate middlemen. So you don't have to trust that someone's going to give you anything, or that the other person supposed to trust you that you will give anything. No, it's all recorded on a ledger that's accessible to anyone and everyone in the world who has access to the internet to see for themselves, to look at transactions that have been made that seemingly can never be reversed or tampered or altered with. We understand this trustless code. Who created the whole blockchain system? A person had to create it, right? Or did another entity create it that we know nothing about? Who created it? We don't know. We don't know who the founders of Bitcoin are or is. Pronouns. We have no idea, but it's here. And Bitcoin has its own flaws. I had a hard time believing in Richard Hart in the beginning. I did. I thought Hex was a scam. I thought he was trolling the entire crypto space. I thought he was, trying to just create magic tricks. I saw him as a magician. And you know what? I turned out to be right. He is a magician because he was able to create something out of nothing and allowed people to enjoy the system that he invented called Hex. To enjoy it to this day. He pulled more than a rabbit out of a hat and waved a wand. He did more than that. Well, to me, he's a magician. And not a foul Harry Potter type thing we talking about, make believe. No, this is like actual, factual, in my own opinion. This is what it is. But I'm not supposed to trust him because why? He wears Louis Vuitton goods. Who cares? I don't care about his drip. I don't care about his outfit. I don't care about any of that. When people are upset and they lack, right? They don't feel good about themselves. So they project their inadequacies onto others. That's what you find a lot in crypto. When they project their insecurities, when they just, all they can do is find a negative in everything. When they're proven to be made wrong, they can't accept it. They hold on and praise their ego, even to a fault, their pride. That's what you find a lot in crypto. That's what you find. That's really what you find. But none of that pays your bills. None of those things address certain fundamental problems that we see. What have the last 2 freaking years have shown? Hex launched right in the beginning of this whole pandemic. The pandemic was already bubbling in China. October 2019. Hex launched December 2019. So what are we talking about? And we saw so many people, everybody, be put to the test in the last 2 years. I don't care what side of the spectrum you fall on or whatever, but everyone's convictions, everyone's belief system, everyone's standard, everyone's principles, morals, values were put to the test, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's freedom was challenged. Whatever view and perspective you have and what freedom means to you. Oh, it was challenged these last 24 months. It was challenged very well. Seriously. Why do you think, really? The man sees that people really are trying to really silence him without silencing him. Just like the music industry, being blackballed. People are trying to blackball or gatekeep Hex. They've been doing it the whole time since its inception, since it launched. Very strongly too. Like, they're doing a great job at keeping the word, suppressed. And people who don't decide to do their own research to look into the product, they just see a man in a high chair with expensive watches around him, who's seemingly very confident and clear on what he talks about, speak on the camera on YouTube, and people get mad at that because they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth how everyone's freedom was challenged within the last 24 months. Maybe not 24 exact. Who cares? March 2020, the crap hit the fan over here in the US. So I don't care if I'm short by 2 months. Round it off. You'll be all right. And with all this gatekeeping that Hex has gone through, the founder decides, okay, well, because Ethereum can't get their shit together, I'm going to fork it. Have a sacrifice period. These terms. And the purpose will be a political stance. Political. You're sacrificing for freedom of speech. And people think that's a joke because they can't see, again, past their own limitations. Gatekeeping, censorship. You don't think that goes hand in hand? Meanwhile, we're using cryptocurrency as supposed to be censorship resistant, permissionless, borderless. But they're trying to clamp down on Hex. Not talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Oh, okay. But no, that was just a clever thing, this whole sacrifice, no expectation of profit for the work of others. It's just it's a gimmick. People just see it as a gimmick. You don't understand how heavily politically charged, how laden this is with just political jargon, but these jargons affect everyone in one shape, form, or another, directly or indirectly. And people don't see the value. They don't see the importance. They don't see that this is history. They don't see what's going on here. If you were about nothing and you discovered this, now you're a part of something. This movement is bigger than what we really can even understand. You're donating your crypto. Not even donating, you're sacrificing your crypto because you didn't even get a receipt, in quote unquote. You got proof that you did your transactions and hopefully you did it well. You got your transaction hash ID or whatever. But that's gone for freedom of speech. And now it's gone for freedom of right to assemble and move. You can't speak about the pandemic on certain platforms because what? It's not algorithm friendly, or you'll be censored. They'll just cut your voice. You can't move how you want because you have to prove that you got the juice, baby. You got to prove that you got vaccinated. Otherwise, your movement is impaired. Your movement, they'll block your ability to coexist freely. depending on your locale, depending on where you live. And people don't think. People just think this is just a gimmick. They just think this is a gimmick, a get-rich-quick scheme. How quick can I get rich off of these coins? Off of the yeah, sacrifice. So yeah, that's just ICO. Yeah, freedom of speech. Oh yeah, whatever, man. Just let me just sacrifice ICO style and just wait for my coins when the mainnet launches, when the PulseChain launches. Get my coins, blah 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 blah. Forgetting, and of course, because a lot of people, they're not gonna hold on to the coins. They're not, because they're not built for longevity. They're not built for the movement, because this is a movement. They're not built for it. There's a lot of people who talk a good game, who talk a wonderful game, who present great, who'll make you believe that they are about everything that they're talking about. And they're not. They're not. They're not. And that's their choice. Everyone has a choice to do whatever they want in crypto. But then you have certain powers that be that still want to control everything in crypto. Even external factors want to control everything in crypto. Hence, why, of all things to even create, instead of calling it an ICO, an IDO, STD, STI, whatever you want to call it, you call it a sacrifice period to address freedoms that we're supposed to be, have been born with. People don't understand how to spell sovereignty, much less what the word sovereignty even means. That's, but people just think, oh, you're just putting too much trust into Richard. This is bigger than trusting Richard. You know what I'm saying? This is not about even trusting Richard, man. The man continues to even remark and declare that when he watches and he listens to the different perspectives of people in the community that talk about Hex, that talk about PulseChain, he's also learning himself. He's also in amazement because he didn't see some of the things that many people in the community have seen as far as how this product, as far as even Hex works. He said, oh, I didn't even think about that. He'll say it all the time. It's bigger than him. That's my whole point. It's not about just trusting him. It's bigger than him. He just happens to be the vessel that's allowing all of this to come through. Who else? Who created Hex? Who else? Who's forking Ethereum? And allowing the largest airdrop in crypto history to be done. Who's doing that? Who else? Right, but you trust in Richard too much. This is what I mean. Like, you know what? Narrow-mindedness. When you're narrow-minded, that could be very debilitating because you lose sight on opportunities that could just be waiting for you to experience. Good opportunities. Because I'm looking at a system right here. That's covering many areas, many facets and areas of life. Just right here. These three tools, this is starting with Hex, the complete product, and with PulseChain and PulseX, that will undoubtedly, in my own opinion, pump the living crap out of Hex. These products are going to pump Hex beyond. These things are creating opportunities and chances for people, plural, to have some control. Not even control, to have some control, because they're trying to take it all away from us. But folks don't see. Okay, why of all things? Why of all things? He could have called this an ICO. He could have called this a pre-sale or whatever. He could have called this anything. Sacrifice. And of what type of sacrifice? You're sacrificing for freedom of speech for PulseChain and freedom of right to assemble for PulseX. Connect the freaking dots. When are people gonna, just exercise that matter that's in your skull? Use it. Connect the dots. Think. What has the last 24 months shown us? I've said it before in my previous videos. If I say certain words, people just, they talk, like just in YouTube, this stuff with YouTube, you can't even say COVID-19, because if you do, it's a problem. What happened to freedom of speech? Twitter silences your voices too. They practice censorship. Where's the freedom of speech there? Oh, if you don't do this, you gotta speak a different way. There's so many adjectives for this disease. I've never seen some pandemic, scamdemic, 19, all kinds of stuff. Freedoms have been directly or indirectly impacted. Freedom to share your ideas, freedom to express yourself, freedom to speak. Can't even do it freely on YouTube. Freedom to assemble. Oh, you got to practice social distancing, safe distance, whatever it's called. These last 2 years, safe distance, social distance. That's just one example. Sacrifice for the right to assemble. It's a human freedom. Well, people just look at it, oh no, this just could. They can't see, they can't dig deeper. They only see what's on the surface, what's on the, they don't dig deeper. They do not want to peel through the layers because they'll be too scared to discover what they'll find. Meanwhile, you'll find the truth, and the truth is liberating. It's liberating. It's more than about a stupid live stream. It's more than just about pumping your stupid bags. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just about creating, content for the sake of creating content. If you were not about anything, you didn't understand anything, and listen, yeah, everybody has to start from somewhere, and you stumbled upon this information, and you did your due diligence, and you've even sacrificed, then no one can tell you that you're not a part of any type of movement going against any type of corruption. No one could tell you. No one could tell you that you're not doing anything. Because you did. This is what's been presented to us. I don't think people really, I don't know. I'm not different. I just don't hear it a lot. I don't hear how these things, this is a political machine, this affront to injustice. That's what this is. Because what, you don't think bad shit happens in crypto? Come on, man. Come on, man. People don't see it. They don't see it. It's better to pretend things don't exist, I guess. It's better to turn a blind eye, right? You don't want to look at it for what it is. You don't want to see the truth. The truth is ugly. It's not always pretty. It's ugly. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Even through its ugliness, though, is most definitely liberating. Everyone who's made a sacrifice in these oncoming blockchain products with PulseChain and an actual blockchain and PulseX, decentralized exchange, you're part of a movement, like a real movement. It's documented. It's documented. It's documented. And make no mistake about it. You know, you can't talk about everything you want to talk about, especially in certain groups. But this thing encompasses a lot more than just certain topics limited to certain groups on Telegram. It encompasses a lot and affects all of us. And we're part of a movement, This is why I've always come with the tone of like, take this serious. This is not just, this is real. This is serious. If you have cash in your pocket, take it that serious. Even if it's a piece of change, it's that serious. It's that serious. You're part of a system, right? You hold in fiat, you're part of a system. You have cash in your pocket, in your wallet, under your mattress, in a coffee can, under a rock, you're part of a system. In a bank, you're part of the system. You're part of a system, whether you like it or not, regardless of whatever you believe or don't believe. You sacrificed for PulseChain and PulseX, you're also part of another system. Completely separate. Never forget that. Like understand that. And however you play this out is your choice. It's your choice. But you're part of a system. You did something. You didn't just do to do. You did something that's predicated off of a belief system, a mission. Yeah. It's more than just about 10,000, 15,000, 20, 100,000, a million X. That's part of it, but it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than that. I don't know if people really realize that, man. I don't know if people realize it. Well, that's it. That's it, folks. I gotta go. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you hung out with me this long, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Seriously, for the support. Thank you for the support. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.